Hi, I'm Randy Vance. I am here with Chuck Rubin, who's the CEO of West Marine, and we're talking about Next Marine, and that is what's new in Marine, what's coming up, high tech, low tech, new tech. And Chuck, you are the CEO of West Marine. One of the first questions I wanted to ask you is how you think you're a lifelong boater, I think, or at least a serious boater at this time. When I began, a boat was basically, they said boats came in buckets and bales. They molded them, threw some wires in there, a steering wheel, bench seats, et cetera, et cetera. The technology has changed so much that certainly had to have changed the way West Marine presents to their customer base. What kind of challenges did that bring you?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me, Randy. And I have been a boater a long time. In fact, I just got back yesterday from the Keys with my boat here to Fort Lauderdale, where we're based. Technology has changed everything in retail, not just in the boating industry, but beyond boating as well. So, as you mentioned, boats are more complex. There are more things that make boating more convenient and more enjoyable for an individual. But there are also more things that break, and there's more questions that customers have. So it's changed our business radically. Everything from how we communicate with customers, because now everything has to be done via your cell phone or at an iPad or a laptop. Everything has to be done digitally, all the way through the know-how, which we pride ourselves having, the best know-how in both our crew members as well as our online assets. The know-how has to explain technology better to our customer. And then just how we run our business, whether it's the technology of delivery, where we offer same-day delivery and next-day delivery and buy online, pick up in store, because the customer, through shopping in other venues, has learned that they want something when they want it, and technology enables it. So technology across retail and certainly here at West Marine has been a game changer and will continue to evolve as the customer demand evolves.
You have to find people that not only know boats and boating, they have to know this technology. How do you get the mix of people in your stores that can walk a guy through this stuff?
It's funny, I've been in retail a really long time and have had the good fortune of working for some great retailers. West Marine has a unique advantage when it comes to recruiting folks. We call them crew members. First of all, boating is a fun industry, and there is no better known or more respected brand in the industry than West Marine. We have virtually 100% brand awareness. So when you look at recruiting people, everybody knows West Marine. If you've been a boater of any sort, you've shopped at West Marine and hopefully have had a good experience. But even if you've had a less than good experience, good retailers want to come to a company that they can make better. And that's what we're all about at West Marine. So we find our crew members from anywhere that you can imagine, but most of them have boating experience. They are attracted to us because of our reputation. They're attracted because of our business model, which is very diverse. We pay competitively in the marketplace, and we offer a great crew member discount. So as a boater, who's constantly buying things, as most of us are who are boaters, to get that discount helps a little bit as well. And that adds to one of the many rewards that we provide to our crew members.
Yeah, I told you a little while ago, I used to work for Bass Pro Shops, and we used to get I think it was like a 25% employee discount. And at the time when I began there, the office headquarters were at the headquarters store in Springfield, Missouri. To get to the employee parking, I had to walk through the store. Getting that paycheck home was quite a challenge.
Well, we track a lot of our data very closely. We're very data oriented. So we know our crew members take good advantage of our discount, and we're really happy that they do. This is a business that we want our crew members out on a boat. We want our crew members fishing, because through that real life experience, that adds to the know-how that they bring to our customers every day. So when a customer walks in, quite often, most often, in fact, they have a question. They have a problem that they're trying to solve. Either something's broken on their boat, or they're going fishing in a new place, or they want to upgrade something on their boat. They want people who have been there and done that. And that's the know-how that West Marine brings, certainly online, digitally, but really excitingly, we bring it to life in person when you can go into one of our stores or call our contact center and talk to a real life human being that knows what they're talking about because they were just out last weekend boating and fishing.
I think your flagship store, you have a store I'd call a flagship store. It's either in Miami or Fort Lauderdale. We did a video down there. We went through the stereo department. We were doing an install video that came out pretty well, but I was impressed with the sound room that you had there. All of the stereo equipment you had set up in a sound booth so that you could go in and try it out. But that is a lot of stuff for a guy to learn. How do you train people to be fluent in all of that equipment?
Well, first of all, the store's in Fort Lauderdale. It's about 50,000 square feet. We believe it's the largest boating store in the country, maybe even, in fact, the world. And as we like to say, if you can't find it in that store, you don't really want it or need it. So to your question, how do we find people? How do we train people? There is a very focused online training program that we offer to all of our crew members, not just in that store, with a wide breadth of content. Some of it is leveraged from our vendors. Some of it we create on our own. But we want crew members on the sales floor of every one of our stores to be deep in their knowledge. In fact, we've introduced in the past number of months a recognition program for our crew members that acknowledges when they have gone through additional training. It also acknowledges the fact that we have a lot of captains, licensed boat captains that work in our stores as well. So when a customer walks in, through the pins that our crew member wears on their vest, on their West Marine vest, you can tell who's a licensed boat captain or who's received additional training in technology or in fishing, so that you know that you're talking to somebody who's been there and done that. But really, even beyond these, the training that we provide, which is so critical, and even beyond the recognition that we offer to our crew members, because we think that they've earned it, the customer could tell when they're talking to someone, this is a tough business to just bluff your way through. If you're a boater or you're a fisherman, you want to talk to someone who speaks your language, and it's readily apparent when that's not the case. I'm very happy to say we have extremely high customer service scores across all of our stores. We measure it and track it very closely, and we also ensure that our own crew members both are going through the training that we provide, and we encourage them to go out and take advantage of the training and actually enjoy boating and fishing, because that is so important to the lifestyle that we're kind of proud to participate in.
A couple of moments ago, you said something about how a lot of your interaction with the customer is technology now. It's the phone, the tablet, or the laptop. What's changed in that respect in, say, the last 5 years?
Oh, the biggest change that we talk a lot about here at West Marine is fundamentally retail has changed maybe a little bit more than 5 years ago, but retail used to be a business that the retailer, you could argue, had the power, and the consumer really was at the mercy of the retailer. So, it doesn't go back that many years ago that to know what a retailer had in the store, you had to get in your car and drive to the store. Or to understand what people thought about a particular product, you talk to your neighbors or friends verbally. Technology has changed it such that, from the convenience of your living room couch, or the convenience in our business of sitting on your boat, you can pull up the item that you're looking for and see what store has it. And you can read reviews online. All of these things you couldn't do years ago. So the power shift has moved to the customer, and it's through the advent of technology. So the shopping experience, learning how to use a product, getting questions answered, looking at a video of how to install something you may have bought at a West Marine. All of those things are enabled by technology, and all of those things, West Marine is at the forefront. There isn't anybody better in this business that offers all of these opportunities to the customer. And now with the improvements in our supply chain through technology, you can buy an item online. You can either pick it up yourself in store within a couple of hours, or you might choose to have it delivered to your home or your boat. You can do that again through technology, or have it delivered the next day. So technology has been a game changer, and it's put the power back in the boaters' hands and the anglers' hands, and not in the retailers' hands. And that's why I think West Marine's so well positioned, because we're at the forefront of enabling that for our customers more than most anyone else in this business.
Everything changed during the pandemic, and people couldn't go out, and they started buying more and more online. That trend has stood up to some degree. Yet you guys are still building gorgeous stores. What do you see the retail mix being in 5 years? More technology or more in-person shopping?
Well, we have the good fortune of having a very diverse business model. So we have three divisions of the company. One is our brick and mortar stores. A second is our e-commerce platform. And then the third, which we're incredibly bullish about, is what we call our pro division, which is the B2B division. We sell not the end user, we sell the mobile mechanics, the dealers, the boat repair shops that use our products in service of the end customer. So all three of those businesses we think are very exciting. Clearly, technology has changed how business is done. And, today, clearly there's commerce that's conducted digitally, and that's affected both the consumer part of our business, but also the B2B, the pro side of our business as well. But technology is influencing business even in the brick and mortar environment, because what we find is that customers are shopping online. They may not push the button to buy it online, but they're researching online. They're reading product reviews online. They're watching videos of how a product is used online. And all of those online interactions, by the way, are hopefully being done at West Marine, because we have great content online. So if you fast forward a few years, I think there's still, opportunity for brick and mortar growth in terms of number of stores, but the use of those stores is changing, and technology is enabling that. In fact, we're using our stores increasingly to fulfill customer orders, because we have 230 plus stores. They're very close to our customer. So if we fulfill out of the store, the customer gets their online order faster than they may have, a year or two ago, when we had to rely upon third party to deliver it. Now we're able to do that ourselves in a much greater way. So throughout all of that, the three parts of our business, stores, e-commerce, and pro, we think have high growth opportunities. Technology is enabling it, but clearly, technology will continue to accelerate in its impact on how our customer shops.
Do you kind of have a picture of what you're going to look like 5 years or 10 years from now?
I think personally, I'll probably have a little more gray hair than I have right now.
Well, I guess I was a little ambiguous in that question, but I'm talking about your company.
Oh, okay. All right. I appreciate that. We will continue to be the leader, the number one player in what we do, as we are today. I think that our pro division is, which is number two in the market today. I think our pro division will be number one. I'm very bullish about that opportunity. I think our e-commerce business will significantly grow. And I think our brick and mortar stores will evolve from just being a place to buy something. They'll evolve to be certainly that in the future, but they will be more fulfillment hubs, because they're closer to the customer. And they're going to be more community ecosystems, if you will, where customers will come to shop, but they're going to come to experience something or learn something. So as an example, coming up over Memorial Day, we're going to be hosting the Coast Guard Auxiliary in a whole lot of our stores, to actually do inspections on towable boats that can be brought into the parking lot in our store, and the Coast Guard will do an inspection to highlight, suggestions for that boat owner. So that kind of activation of the store, I think, is going to be much more prominent when you look out over not just 5 years from now. I'm hoping it's going to be much more prominent when you look out over the next 12 months.
That's got to actually be a good program because when you go to the trouble to take your boat to the auxiliarist for an inspection and they point out a couple deficiencies, you want that sticker on your boat. It's kind of a trophy. So those guys are probably going to be very motivated to step right inside the door and check those boxes. I like that idea.
There's lots of ways of activating our stores in our digital platform as well. Boating is a really fun, as well as fishing, really fun things to do. We started talking in this conversation about technology. I think it's gotten more, in some ways, more complex over the years. And, you have more people buying boats. Many of them aren't really deep in knowledge of how to manage the boat. So our role is not just to provide the products and the know-how about how to run the boat, but it's also to how to run it safely. And I think that we have, as the largest player in the marine industry, I think we have a responsibility to help out that boater, especially that new boater, understand what they need to have on their vessel to stay safe.
Yeah. Well, you must have a copy of my book in your book section.
Of
Power
course.
Boating for Dummies.
Of course.
I wrote that in 2008. We just revised it last year. And, it's interesting how much of boating stays the same. The hard skills, the on the water skills and everything. But the technology is there's just so much more to it. You have to talk about electric boats now. And that's probably a good question is you sell electric motors in there, I think. And how big of a category is that getting to be?
I think it's small still. I think I think I think you might be seeing it with electric cars as well. I think there's a lot of headlines about it. I think it's right now still a very small part of the overall business. You still have gas powered that's driving that part of our business. But just to go back to something you said a moment ago, certainly there are principles of boating that are the same today as have been around for forever. It's a fun, family-oriented kind of thing that you can do, both boating and fishing. But when you think about boating today, at least in my recollection, the amount of power and the amount of technology that are on boats today, it is really different. So you have people running boats now with just a ton of power on those boats, and their knowledge of how to run the boat may not have kept up with the power on that boat. I just experienced it this weekend in boating in the Keys that, people running really large, sophisticated, powerful boats that probably could have used some additional know-how infused into themselves. And again, I think that's one of the really important things about West Marine. We sell products. We are, without a doubt, a business. But we also recognize that to be successful at that, to fulfill our community contribution, if you will, we have to provide know-how. And whether it's safety or how to get the most out of your boat, we have a role to provide know-how to that customer, whether you're an experienced boater or increasingly that new boater, whether you bought a boat, during COVID, you were lucky enough to find a boat. We're there to help you understand how to get the most fun out of it and do it effectively and efficiently and safely.
Have you ever thought about the possibility of having some kind of a forum within your retail structure that allows your customers to interact with each other and with you?
The short answer is stay tuned. Part of it already exists today. So customers can interact with us. They can do it online via chat. They can call in. We're also very visible in the community. We have over 230 stores, so they can walk into any of our stores and interact through that. But that marketplace, that community, becomes really important. In just one example, we just launched in our pro division a Pick a Pro, and what this service is for the customer that doesn't want to do it themselves. They want to do it for me. That do it for me mentality. So they want somebody to come to their boat and fix the boat themselves, that third party. But sometimes they don't know who to call. So we're launching now, it's just in a very early stage, for a lot of our pro customers who are mobile technicians. If you're buying something, you can go on to the West Marine site and find the pro in your local neighborhood with experience in doing the kind of work that you need them to do, and then set up an appointment for them to come. And all the reviews of that person from all the different platforms, Google as an example, are posted as well. So, we think that that's an example of trying to build a little bit of this community ecosystem that we can play in, and there'll be layers that we add into that over time.
Tell me a little bit more about your pro division, and I think you've got a professional mariners division as well. Am I right?
No, we have a pro business, which is made up of thousands of different types of accounts, everything from the mobile technician to boat dealers to industrial type of customers. It's very diverse, very extended assortment. It's focused on delivery to the customer, although especially that mobile guy or woman can buy in store. We'll customize our inventories within that local store to the needs of that mobile technician. So we essentially become their back room for their business.
Well, Chuck, I want to thank you very much for taking the time to be with us here at Next Marine. And we look forward to seeing how West Marine grows and changes with the changing technology in our sport.
Really appreciate speaking with you. Thanks for the opportunity.
You're welcome. And I'm Randy Vance, and we're out.